I'm buying a rental in Honolulu, Hawaii. What is happening, YouTube? Thank you for watching Mentorship Monday. Today's question comes from, what is your name? Trey. You're on the second page. But anyway, you're in Honolulu, Hawaii, Trey. And I love that about you because I want to be in Honolulu, Hawaii, and I think half the people watching this want to be in Honolulu, Hawaii, but they're wherever they are, and they're listening to you talk about real estate in Honolulu. So good for you, man. Here's what we got. Trey's got a property that he's looking to buy that's a 5-unit. It's just a wacky story, man. I'm going to just read a lot of what he put here, and then we'll comment as best we can on it. First of all, it's a 5-unit building. The owner vacated all the units, threw everybody out to renovate the apartments. That's why he said that he did it. Now, first of all, Trey, that doesn't add up. That doesn't add up. Nobody would actually do that. But hey, that's what the owner did. That's what Trey was told by the owner, is that the owner threw all these tenants out so he could renovate the apartments. Now, Trey's concern is, how do I validate the rent that this guy said he was getting, right? Now, answer your question, Trey, is you asked for leases from him from when the tenants were living there. You asked for rent rolls. You asked for financials. You asked for something called a trailing 12. A trailing 12 is 12 months worth of financials trailing back from today. And if he's keeping any kind of good accounting books, then you should be able to get an idea of what the properties, of what kind of rent he was getting. If you can't produce that, then you got to go off of the market on what a dilapidated property in Honolulu would sell for per unit, right? Next thing is, and this just gets even better, is that the property on the tax records that Trey found out is showing up as a duplex, showing up as a 2-family, which Trey said it's very common in Honolulu to take properties and cut them up really small, because probably a lot of people want to live in Honolulu, so maybe you give them really small apartments. I don't know. But it's very common to take existing buildings and cut them up smaller. So the tax record shows it's a duplex. The seller is saying it's a 5. Uh-oh. That's all I can say on that one. Is you need to call the zoning office and ask them what the property is legally zoned, and you need to call if there is a housing office that approves rental properties that landlords have to register themselves with, call that office and ask if what the property is legally zoned. Because what could happen, you could buy the property and then you could start renting it out and have people live there, and the town could figure out what's going on and say, wait a minute, that knucklehead Trey has that property that is a 2-family and he's got 5 families living in there. We're going to send violations, and we're going to make him operate it as it's a duplex. They can enforce what's in the tax code that says if it's a duplex, if the tax code says it's a duplex, then they can enforce you to operate it as such, even if there are 5 different units and doors and all that, and meters and everything. So it's always important to all of you folks watching to make sure that properties are zoned for what the seller is presenting them to be. Okay, let's keep going. Both water and electric have 1 meter, and both electric and water have 1 meter each, meaning that the owner pays all. And I hate this deal. I love Honolulu. I love you, Trey, but this deal, is it possible we recommend to put sub-meters in for the units, or would raising rents help cover this be most effective? So what Trey's talking about is there's 1 electric meter, 1 water meter on the whole property, right? Yet again, why it's sketchy that this place is showing up as a duplex in public record. Okay, let's go back to that. And that there's only 1 meter. Because a lot of times when the zoning officer shows up, you can look at him and say, look, there's 5 meters. The electric company thinks this is a 5-unit building. So should you. And I've been able to convince zoning officers on towns in just showing them the meter bank and saying, like, the public utility calls this a multifamily. So should you. So if there's only 1 meter, something ain't right, buddy. So that concerns me too. But yeah, so going back to your question, yes, you can submeter, and I don't like properties where the landlord pays all utilities because it's a variable that you don't know what it's going to look like, even given past performance. So I would recommend that you submeter, but I further recommend that you take my advice on question number 2, which is to talk to the zoning office about what that property zone, because that 1 meter thing, something's not right. Okay, what clauses should I include in my offer that would let me back out if I find something I don't like, that would completely turn me off from the property? Or how should I word that, and later should I lower my price to something and the inspection comes up? A couple things you can do here, Trey. All right, you can put a contingency in there that says, I am buying this as a 5-unit building, and the property needs to be zoned and approved as a 5-unit building by the local township, and if I find that it's not as such, then I want out. Okay, and you're going to give yourself, you're going to make it so you're going to have open up a due diligence period of say 30 days for you to fully investigate all those things. Okay, and then after that 30 days is up, your deposit goes hard, meaning that they can keep it if you back out, and then you start investing further into appraisals and everything like that. But what you want to do is do 30 days to investigate that 5-unit thing and investigate whatever else you want to investigate during that 30-day period. That's the first clause you want to put in there, is a due diligence clause. And also, as I just said earlier, is make sure the property is zoned as a 5-family. And here's the other angle you can take, is you could say, Mr. Seller, I will buy your property and I will pay X amount of dollars a unit. And so if it is a 5-unit, I will pay, $30,000 a unit, so that's 150 grand, period. Now, it's probably not Honolulu prices, but maybe put another zero on that for Honolulu. But I think that if it ends up not being zoned as a duplex, I will still buy it. I'm sorry, zoned as a 5-unit, I will still buy it, but I'm still going to pay you 30 grand a door. And so if the best I can get, if it's proven, is that it's a 2-family, I'll give you 60 grand. But if you and I together can prove it's a 5-unit, I'll give you 150. And you put it on them that they get more money the more units you get zoned out of it, right? So that's kind of creative. I don't know if they'll do that or not, but that's like a dollars a unit on your buy price, to say my price is based on X amount of dollars per unit. If I don't get that zoning, my price changes reflective of that dollars per unit. Okay, that's it. This is a long one, but that was a great question. So thank you, Trey, for your question and for telling us more about Honolulu, Hawaii. And making us all wish we were there so we could answer this thing in person. That would be awesome. So Trey sent his question to helpme@DeRosaGroup.com to get it answered here on the YouTube channel. That's how you guys get questions answered on the YouTube channel too. Send it to helpme@DeRosaGroup.com and check us out on Facebook and like and share this video, please. We would love you guys if you did that. So that's all I got today for you. Thank you, Trey. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great and profitable week.